Welcome to Deep Thought. The education system should be called the indoctrination system. And I'm going to tell you what, I was thinking about that because I was thinking about my own education. Now, I've talked about, 2 degrees, private high school, all of that. And except the stuff that was really useful, well, I would say being taught how to research things. That was the most useful thing. And then just seeing what's out there. But the information itself, a lot of it's just indoctrination. It's called the education system. It's the indoctrination system. If you think about what you're really taught, it was like in many ways you're taught to just be able to be a good citizen and to have a job. You're not taught a lot. Even with controversies over admissions at elite schools, it's more about jobs. It's more, and because what do people actually learn? I want y'all to think about that. When I was a freshman in college, y'all remember this thing called Murphy's Law? If anything can possibly go wrong, it will. But there was a lot more to Murphy's Law than that. That was just the most famous. But the one I remember the most, and this was back in college, this early 80s, it was this saying, universities from Murphy, universities are full of knowledge. Freshmen bring a little in, seniors take none away. Knowledge accumulates. And I was thinking about that. I was like, what did we really learn? Because first of all, every school, high school, public school, private school, they all have an agenda. There's certain things they're not going to be taught. In fact, there's a lot of political controversy now over what's taught in schools, and whether you right, left, center, whatever, if you think about it, at the end of the day, no matter what it is, it's still information. See, understand something. True education is not from outside of you. True education is really within you. Someone will be truly educated if they are taught how to find the things that they need to do with whatever their mission is in life, or, how to handle circumstances. Like, if you think about it, does the education system really teach you how to live? Which is the most important thing. I mean, I've seen some people say it. They say, they don't teach you how to write a check or to balance a checkbook, does it? To do your taxes. And I'm going to tell you what, on a major thing, does the education system tell you how to be in a relationship? Now I want y'all to think about that. Are there classes, and there might be some here and there, but overall, does it teach you how to create a family? Does it teach you how to mate properly? Does it really teach you how to resolve personality conflicts, personal conflicts? No, it gives you some information. It gets you used to doing stuff at a certain time, and let's just be real, especially at the public school level, a lot of them just places to be babysat. Seriously. A lot of people, especially a lot of institutions that might be in more distressed areas, poorer areas, they just someplace so the parents can work. In fact, I read something and it had a good perspective on it. It's teaching you, it was everything was taught on how to really just be good workers, how to follow that bell and everything, But does it really educate? And yeah, you get some talented people who get educated regardless. But I'm going to tell you one of the funniest things, I thought about this. I've known 3 people personally with 8th grade educations. Yet 2 of them, they were well into the 6 figures way before the present time. Like, I would say their net worth and everything they had would have been, in 2023 money, like $500,000, maybe even $1 million. Like they were doing well, had property, owned property outright, everything. 8th grade educations. 8th grade educations. Because one of the things is they actually would teach themselves. In fact, you still got millionaires and billionaires who don't have the same level of education. But what do those people with the education have? They are taught how to actually work for someone else. You know, a lot of entrepreneurs don't have that education, you know? Now, let me be very clear. It's still important. I did a video talking about the discipline and everything. Okay, that's important, you know, because you still got to go through it. But what are you really learning? You know, except for like maybe some specialty, you know, how to be a doctor or something like that. But even then, well, I can't speak for the doctor part, but some other stuff, like I give you an example. I know I had a friend, a practicing attorney. He said once he graduated law school and he started working for this major firm, he said the attorney said, you know, all that stuff you were taught is useless. Let's teach you the real stuff. I was like, well, what was the point of it? Yeah, discipline and all of that. And even I say, yeah, you learn how to research. But when I think about my success now and what I actually learned in school, I was like, you know, none of that's applied. I think I had one class in high school on public speaking. One class. And even with that, I learned more for public speaking because the dear teacher who taught that class, and he's one of the few people who can make fun of me and I just laugh with him. He actually directed the plays at the school, and he said, hey, come on out for the play. I actually learned more in a play that, you know, public speaking than I did like taking a class. And I learned a lot in the class. But, you know, if you really think about it though, people are taught, you know, they're given a certain narrative, like, okay, like history classes, social studies. It's only presenting so much. It's presenting a narrative no matter what. And like I said, there's a big political thing with it now, whether you right, left, center, whatever. There's always some political agenda, always. That's why like some of the biggest political fights are really in school boards. But it's like, oh, whose indoctrination are we going to use? Whose indoctrination? Because I'm being real with it. Everybody got something. Everybody got something. And I'm gonna get into in the next episode, I'm gonna get into the real thing that needs to be taught in schools. But right now, it's a lot of indoctrination. Like, you're given information. That's why you get some people, they can have the information recited, but can't solve basic problems. I mean, I'm gonna just be real with it. I'm saying this as somebody with a couple degrees. Some of the dumbest people I met have degrees. Seriously. Like, okay, whatever their subject matter is, they can discuss it. But then when you go outside of that, or it requires thinking, I've met too many who can't. I've dealt with some women. It was like, as long as you discuss what they did in school, it was good. But if I went outside of that, they'd be like, hey, what book you read that in? Wasn't in a book, I'm just thinking. You know, I was like, it's a real issue. That's one thing, honestly though, that's one thing I got in high school. Because we had a lot of teachers, let's just say we didn't open books in their class. A lot of stuff required us to think. That's one thing. Because when I look, in fact, many of the graduates of that high school around that time, we actually say, you know, we didn't really learn anything, but we were taught to think. How many schools are like that though? Yeah, it shouldn't be called an indoctrination system. Think on this. Anyway, I'll get back with you later. Peace and blessings.